Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Sarah Rolph, and I'm the EDI Manager for the Bartlett. And with me on this call today are my colleague Velvet Young, who is responsible for the IT side, the technical side, the communication side, and two of our Bartlett Promise Masters scholars this current year, Pedram Najad and Aliza Naveed. They'll be talking to you shortly about their experience of applying for the scholarship and joining UCL. So, Velvet, would you like to move on to the next slide, please? As I've mentioned, that's my name, and we have Pedram and Aliza on this call. I should also mention that the Bartlett Promise team consists of my colleague Ian Borden, who is the Vice Dean of Education for the Bartlett, Sarah Shafi, who's the Vice Dean of EDI for the Bartlett, and an external consultant, Kevin Coutinho, who works for the Windsor Fellowship, amongst many other EDI commitments. Thank you, Velvet. So what is the Bartlett Promise? Well, the Bartlett, across education, higher education, and in the built environment field altogether, we are not diverse enough. So here at the Bartlett, we're promising to do something about that, to do better. So the scholarship aims to enable students from backgrounds that are underrepresented in the Bartlett to pursue their masters at the Bartlett. Our goal is to provide the opportunity of an education for all, regardless of means, and so diversify the student body and the built environment professions. Thank you, Velvet. What does a scholarship cover? Well, it covers the tuition fees for the duration of your programs. Programs do vary in length. Some are 1 year, some are 2 years, and some are something in between that. So whatever the duration of your program is, the scholarship will cover that full duration. You get an annual allowance to cover your living and studying expenses of $15,864. Some programs get slightly more if they are longer. And that's paid in 3 equal termly installments, or it can actually be paid monthly if you prefer. You also get ongoing academic and career support during your studies. Next slide. Who's eligible? Candidates must be UK domiciled with home fee status or forced migrant as defined by UCL in the UK. Your domicile status is determined by the admissions team, not by the Bartlett Promise team, by the admissions team when you apply for your program. That team will look at where you're based, where you've been living, and they will make that decision. You must also have an offer of admission to study a master's program at the Bartlett. That's essential. You must have your offer before you can apply for the scholarship. Also, you must not have completed a master or a PhD at UCL or anywhere else previously. This must be your first master's. Other eligibility criteria. You must meet at least one of these additional criteria. Be in financial need as assessed by UCL. That figure is something like £42,000 annual income. You have to have less than that amount. You'll find the full details on our website. You can also be from a Black, Asian, or minority ethnic background, be from a Gypsy, Roma, or traveller community, have a disability, be a care leaver, have care responsibilities. That could be for children, it could be for a relative, a family member. Be first generation in your family to attend university at undergraduate level, or first in generation in the family to attend university at postgraduate. You don't have to meet all of those by any means, but you must meet at least one to be eligible for the scholarship. The Bartlett Promise Scholars Experience. Thank you, Velvet. Can you go on? So we also have a scholarship with the Aziz Foundation. This is to be confirmed. We've worked with the Aziz Foundation for the last 3-4 years, I think, and we're waiting for confirmation that they will continue the funding their scholarship with us for this next coming year. But we fully expect that that will be the case. So that scholarship, for that to be eligible for that scholarship, you need to identify as a British Muslim or work to support British Muslim communities. everything is the same. The value of the scholarship is the same. The support you get is the same. And you can apply for both. You can be applying for the Bartlett Promise normal scholarship and also for the Aziz funded part at the same time. And you can be interviewed for both of those at the same time. Thank you, Velvet. There are no program restrictions. The Aziz have no restrictions on which programs you can apply to. And you apply on the same application form. There are 3 specific questions that relate to that scholarship, and you need to answer those questions if you want to be considered for that scholarship. If you do get that scholarship, you'll be joining part of the Aziz Foundation Scholars community as well as the Bartlett Promise. And the Aziz Foundation have various programs to help you develop your leadership skills and provide seminars and workshops and other opportunities. So it gives you a bit of an extra support there. Thank you. How to apply? Please check your eligibility carefully. There are frequently asked questions on the website that detail the whole process and all the things you need to take into consideration when you're applying. If there's any question that isn't answered, please contact us at the bartlett.promise for any other questions that you have. Then you need to apply for a master's program. You must have your application submitted. You must have an offer of a place on a Bartlett program before you can apply for the scholarship. There are 9 Bartlett schools. You can search for any program by school or by the type of program that you're interested in doing. All the information is on our website. You make your application for the master's online, and then hopefully you will secure either an unconditional or a conditional offer of admission. If it's unconditional, it means you've met all the criteria to be eligible for the course that you've applied to. If your offer is conditional, the condition will be mentioned in your offer letter, and it may be that you've got to graduate your undergraduate program or that you've got to meet requirements for English language standards or something like that. But the condition will be specified in your offer letter. When you've got your offer letter, then you can apply for the Bartlett Promise when the scholarship application form opens on the 1st of March. You don't have to complete it on that day. The application form will be open until the 31st of May. So you must be able to meet the criteria of having your offer letter between those dates, and then you can apply for the scholarship. After the 31st of May, we check that everybody's got their offer letter, and then we do a shortlisting process. Shortlisted candidates will be invited to a one-to-one dialogue with a representative from the Windsor Fellowship from 17th to the 3rd of July, 17th of June to the 3rd of July. It's not an interview, it's just a dialogue to flesh out what you've said in your application form and to help us understand better who you are and what you're interested in achieving. You can discuss anything that you want to, that you think might support your application. You won't be asked about your academic ability. The fact that you've got an offer for UCL is sufficient for us to know that you are eligible for the scholarship. We don't discuss your academic ability. We're more interested in your background and how you will benefit from the scholarship. Outcomes. The applications will be assessed against the eligibility criteria specified. If your offer is conditional, you have to provide us with an unconditional offer letter by the 10th of July. So you must have met whatever those criteria are that you need to get that unconditional offer. And then the Bartlett Promise team make a final decision and notify candidates by the 20th of July 2026. So to summarise, applications open on the 1st of March. You have to submit an application by the 31st of May. The dialogues, if you're shortlisted, will be in the middle of June to the beginning of July, and the successful applicants will be notified by the 20th of July. And so now we have 2 people with us who have gone through this process and won a scholarship. So perhaps I can ask Pedram to go first. Would you like to tell the people on the call how it was for you? How was the application process for you?
Sure. Hi, everyone. I am Bedram. I'm an RIB Part 2 Masters of Architecture student here at the Bartlett School of Architecture. and also a Bartlett Promise Scholar as well. Um, the application process is really straightforward. After receiving a offer of admission from the Bartlett School of Architecture, um, you know, I really recommend studying the website. I think the website has all the information that you need. So the Bartlett website / the UCL website is incredibly supportive. And if you have any more queries, definitely emailing. In terms of my personal experience, the Windsor Fellowship, having a one-to-one dialogue with them was incredibly helpful to sort of indicate the need for the scholarship and how it would support you throughout your studies. And I do recommend being as honest as possible, like what to the extent that you're comfortable, so that you get the support that you need. As Bartlett and UCL is incredibly supportive, whether you are a scholar or not. I think it's an incredible opportunity. And we are currently going through the process of being matched with mentors, which we'll find out in November. And that's also another great opportunity that you guys will have, if you receive this award. And overall, the UCL experience, I can speak for the Bartlett School of Architecture. You learn a lot, which is really good. Every day you're reading, learning. It's a great environment to be in. Everybody wants to be here. The lecturers are passionate, and they really push you to be the best version of yourself. And having that scholarship beside you, you can really focus on that and not worry about sort of financial circumstances or any other circumstances that may hinder you or be of difficulty to you. But that's sort of my experience. Thank you very much.
Fantastic, Pedram. Thank you so much. Eliza, would you like to tell us about your experience?
Yeah. Hi, I'm Eliza. I'm currently doing my master's in spatial planning, so planning towns. So my experience similar. So I'm also on the Bartlett Aziz Scholarship. So it was kind of like a straightforward form, asking questions about if you're meeting the eligibility criteria. If you are applying for the Aziz Foundation, then there is usually like a statement that you'll have to upload as well. It's only a short statement just to see like how you have worked with British Muslim community in the past. And then once you get your kind of, I guess, if you're shortlisted, some programs I am aware that there is a deposit that you'll have to pay. So sometimes that can be deferred, and you just need to email the admissions team about and providing evidence that you have applied for a scholarship. So that can be deferred, and if you have at the end of the whole process being confirmed of receiving the scholarship, that will be waived as well for you. So yeah, if that's a concern, if your program does have a deposit that needs to be paid, then definitely contact the admissions team. I'd say, yeah, with the dialogue, it was very much kind of discussing your background, building up from your application. And it's more so, your passion for the subject. Why do you want to study? What do you want to do with it in the future? It's very open. It's not as intimidating as I thought it would be. And I'd say, similar to Pedram as well, just being at UCL Bartlett, with, like world-class scholars and everyone, it's an environment where everyone's striving to do their best. And I think that really fosters an environment of, supporting each other, striving to do our best and coming up with really like interesting ideas because people come from like different parts of the world. So it's really interesting to see perspectives and planning from like China or America. Yeah.
That's brilliant. Thank you, Eliza. You've raised two important points there, actually. The deposits. Yes, you're absolutely right. If you are asked to give a deposit, if you're applying for a program and you're asked to give a deposit and you are also applying for the Bartlett Promise, you need to let me know by the Bartlett Promise email address, and we can ask for that deposit to be delayed until the outcome of the scholarship is known. So you don't have to pay the deposit until the scholarship outcome is determined. At that point, if you have got the scholarship, then obviously the deposit would be paid by the scholarship. And if you haven't got the scholarship at that point, you would need to consider whether you want to go ahead with your studies and pay for the deposit yourself or not. So that's a really good point. Thank you, Eliza, for making that. Yes, and you're right. The another point I would like to make for the Aziz Scholarship, the gentleman from the Aziz, Zain Sada, usually sits in on the dialogues for those scholarships because obviously the Aziz Foundation have an interest in who gets those scholarships. They participate in the selection process for those, so they sit in on those. And yes, you have to complete a special box about what is your commitment to the British Muslim community to be eligible for that one. Thank you. That's a really good point. And I hope that you will all apply, and we'll look forward to receiving your applications. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you.